Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing my takeaways from week 1, this video, not week 1, from the opening kickoff, you know what I mean. So this video won't be very long, but we're just going to do some quick takeaways. So, we got the score obviously being Lions 21, Chiefs 20. I predicted the Chiefs to win 27-24. So although I got the pick wrong, I was kind of like close, and I said that the Lions have a really good chance of upsetting, and they did. So let's go through some things. The Lions, they're obviously well coached, as most people have been saying all year. As I have been saying, Dan Campbell's my coach of the year pick. This team, they played well. 21 points isn't amazing. Goff had 253 yards and 1 touchdown, no picks though. So he was pretty good. He wasn't bad, obviously. So 22 for 35. He was pretty much serviceable, which Goff last year was honestly better than serviceable. So Goff did his job. David Montgomery, if we're looking at this like in a fantasy type of way, I was thinking don't go for David Montgomery. He's not going to get a lot of touches because Jahmyr Gibbs is there, but they signed him, so it was really confusing. They are going to give Montgomery touches. I think that is very clear. 21 carries, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 3.5 yards per carry. So the yards per carry isn't good. The touchdown's good. Obviously, the yardage is all right. Didn't get a catch. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs seems like, they're going to ramp him up. They're going to use him more and more, I think. So, 6 yards per carry, 42 yards, and then 2 receptions for 18 yards. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be used a lot more, like I said. He needs some time, I think. And eventually, Jahmyr Gibbs will be probably closer to 70 rushing yards and like 40 receiving yards with a couple of receptions. I think, this was not really a big game for Gibbs, but I think he has a lot of potential. If we go to the receiving, Josh Reynolds, 4 receptions, 80 yards, no touchdowns. Obviously, he had a 33-yard catch, which was pretty good, and he just made some decent plays. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 receptions, 71 yards, 1 touchdown, 11.8 yards per reception. We know that Amon-Ra is a great player, and he is like top 20, maybe top 15 wide receiver in the league. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a great player, and this is stuff that he does. 71 yards, a touchdown, 6 receptions is a good game. The rookie, Sam Laporta, 5 receptions, 39 yards. Looks like they're going to be using him a bit, not quite as much, and I think that's about it. Raymond, 1 catch for 20 yards, and Marvin Jones not really used that much. Jones or Raymond will probably come out as the wide receiver 3, if not maybe Jahmyr Gibbs, we'll see. So Marvin Jones actually fumbled and lost the fumble, so that was bad. Anyway, we have the defense, which obviously the big play that changed the game. Kadarius Toney, his drop was horrible. We're going to talk more about that, but the 50-yard touchdown from Brian Branch, the pick 6 was just the thing that changed the game completely. And yeah, Brian Branch gets a lot of credit. And this Detroit Lions defense, they had no sacks, only had 2 tackles for losses. So not really bringing as much pressure as you want, but the Chiefs do have a good O-line. So they got to bring more pressure, but obviously they got the play when they needed it. So yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Patrick Mahomes, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That 1 pick isn't his fault, so it's really just 226, 2 touchdowns. Matter of fact, it should be a bit more. 21 for 39. Yeah, so Mahomes, he kind of got unlucky with that pick, and he was not the MVP Mahomes, but he wasn't necessarily bad and wasn't the reason why they lost. And 45 yards on the ground is pretty good. Pacheco, 2.9 yards per carry, not good. You need the running game to be better. Mahomes should not be your leading rusher. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he got 22 yards, 3.7 per carry. Once again, can't have that. Tony had -1 yards. Rice, who came out of nowhere. And -3 yards, and Sky Moore had 4 yards. So not really what you want to see. And then as for the receiving, if you're just looking at the box score, you could tell that they're missing their guy. The most receptions was 4 for Isaiah Pacheco, who, like I said, did not do great running the ball. Yeah, and you got to get that running game going. So you need Pacheco to get going, and right now he's not. So if you can't get Pacheco to be going, you need the passing game to work. So MVS, 2 receptions, 48 yards long, 34. We know he's a type of big play player. And if you just go down like 2 receptions, 2 receptions, 3 receptions, 4 receptions, 3 receptions, 2 receptions, you need a guy that's getting the bulk of the catches. And this wasn't a great offensive performance for either team. So a lot of times you'll see like the top guy would be like 9. Even the line's only at 6, but your top receiving guy is running back with 4. That's not good at all. The defense for the Chiefs only had 1 sack, 4 tackles for loss. So their defense didn't play pretty well. I mean, they held the Lions' offense to only 21 points. Well, only 14 points, 21. 7 points came from that Kadarius Toney drop, which we had to talk about. So, we're gonna talk about Tony in a second. That's how we're gonna end this video. But Rashid Rice kind of came out of nowhere. 3 receptions, 29 yards, 1 touchdown. I think that was pretty big. Blake Bell, is he like a 3rd-string tight end, or is he a receiver? Because I've never heard of Blake Bell. So he's the 3rd-string tight end. That's what I thought he was. 2 receptions, 12 yards, 1 touchdown. Like, Mahomes is kind of just throwing it to guys. He doesn't really have a receiver right now. And like Richie James was good last year. They need him to do something. Like I said, MBS is going to be their big target guy. They just need Kelsey back because Kelsey is so essential. He's their wide receiver 1, and then everyone else getting involved. This Chiefs team, I'm not trying to overreact, but I think I'm right for not having them go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I know it's only 1 game, but I truly don't think that this team at this current moment is making the Super Bowl unless they make a trade for a good caliber receiver. I think they need receiving help. If Pacheco gets his shit together, then that helps because that'd be 23 yards. That's bad. So we need Pacheco to get his stuff together, and then Kadarius Toney, one reception, 1 yard, and then of course he was the reason why he dropped the ball, and that's the reason why they lost. And it's like Kadarius Toney, like, you're faking injuries. You're not gonna make it really in the NFL with your faking injuries. Yeah, you got a ring, okay? Rub it in the Giants fan's face. I'm a Giants fan. I don't like you, but I don't care about your ring because you're making plays like that and you're not helping out your team. And you're faking injuries, and you're doing whatever the hell you're doing. You're going to probably pull your hamstring at some point this season. Kadarius Toney is bad news for the Chiefs team. So, that's all for Week 1 takeaways. This is longer than I thought the video would be, but yeah, it was a nice game. 21-20. Lions get the win, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.